Welcome back, my friends. To those who are new here on my channel, my name is Lori and I travel and van camp in my 2023 Ford Transit RV build-out. Thanks for joining me and let's get to this week's adventure. Alright, you guys, so I'm here in Quartzsite and I've got just like a wacky story to tell you guys. I don't even know if this is going to translate through video, but I'm going to tell the story anyways. So I decided to come to the RTR out here in Quartzsite. I've driven past Quartzsite going like to other areas, like traveling through to Colorado, things like that. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever feel like this was going to be a spot where I would come to. But here I am. And I had no idea really what I was doing, as far as I kind of knew where the RTR was going to be. I didn't have like a lot of details, but something just told me I need to come out here and check it out. I did go to the RTR. It doesn't start till tomorrow, I found out today. So they were doing like volunteer like briefings, things like that. So I decided to kind of go check out the town. And then I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I didn't know where I was going to camp. And because the Wi-Fi is super sketchy out here, I didn't really have a good resource of where I was going to go. So I almost went home because I checked out a couple places and I just didn't feel right and I wasn't feeling it. And I was just like, oh, you know, maybe I'm going to be driving home. But I decided to check out one more possible area. And so I kind of just started driving back towards the hills and I found this dirt road and I just kept going on this dirt road and going and going. I did see some dispersed camping, so I knew I was kind of in an area where I could camp, but I was just looking for an area that isn't too close to the road or too close to other campers, things like that. So finally I just thought, okay, I gotta pick a spot. So I made a right and I kind of went under these power poles to get away from the highway and down this road. And I just found this like little turnout here where I have a fire ring, because I thought if the wind stops, I'd have a fire. And I'm facing the sunset, which is great. And so I stopped and I got out and I walked around my vehicle and I looked ahead and there's this whole caravan of vans and small RVs. And I thought, huh, that's interesting. So I walked over there and there was like 30 to 50 women all around this campfire. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my people. So I walked up to the campfire and I'm like, hi ladies. I'm like, is this where the ladies are camping? And they're like so welcoming, so kind. And I was just so happy to stumble across these ladies. Come to find out, it is Jan from Butterfly Tracks and her group. And they were so kind, so welcoming, and like, you know, bring up a chair. And I'm just so excited to be here, to meet these lovely women and to meet Jan. And then also too, just to feel safe out here. I feel like now I'm with a group, right? So tomorrow when I go to the RTR, it's just going to be so much more fun. And what's interesting is about 2 weeks ago, I read a book called Signs, and I'll list it below. It is a book about communicating with your loved ones that have gone on, right? And I wasn't really sure how I felt about all of that, but it was a recommended book and I thought I'm going to read it. So I did, and I chose to kind of test it out on my mom, who passed away about 15 years ago from breast cancer. Her and I were obviously close, and I thought she would be a great, I thought if anybody's going to communicate with me, it's going to be my mom. So you pick something that means something to both of you, and I picked a butterfly. Fast forward to when I came here to this site and I walked up to those ladies and they're like, oh, by the way, our group is called Butterfly Tracks. And I was like, of course it is. So I just feel like I'm in the right spot, and I'm so grateful for these ladies and for this spot. So I feel safe, and now I'll be able to continue on for the week and see what the RTR is about. So I'll do some more filming tomorrow. Hopefully the wind will die down and I'll take you with me to the RTR. So I'm gonna cook some dinner over here. It's going to be simple dinner tonight. Right, dinner tonight, teriyaki noodle bowl. That's what's going down. Maybe some crackers or something along those lines, but nothing too crazy. So that's what we're gonna do. Go time. Sorry. It's what we're doing tonight. That's how we're getting it done tonight. All right. So yeah, it's not quite dark yet. It's still kind of early, but it's super windy outside. And so I just kind of like came into my van. I think I'm going to do some reading, get in my pajamas, and just kind of go to bed early tonight. I'll be the first one up, I'm sure. And then go out and meet the ladies and see what's up for the day. So yeah, getting ready for night one in Quartzsite. Night, everyone. Good morning. So, morning one out here in Quartzsite. I had a great night's sleep. In fact, I slept in till like almost 7, which is unheard of for me. It's still dark though. The sun hasn't come up yet. It still seems a little windy outside, but I was warm. It wasn't that cold. It's still not that cold. And I think it's going to be a beautiful day. So I'm super excited to hang out with the ladies and go. So I want to reference, it's not just the RTR, it's the women's RTR, the few days before the RTR that I'm attending. And today I think they have all kinds of seminars going on, like, how to stay safe when you're camping, and, all kinds of resourceful tips. So I think I'm going to head over there with the ladies today, take a few seminars, and then I think if it's not windy, I'll come back here and enjoy my camp spot. Yesterday I did stop by because I was early and the RTR hadn't started yet. I went over to the RV show. They have like 3 or 4 shows going on kind of simultaneously here. And it was a huge like vendor fair, like the biggest like swap meet vendor situation I've ever seen. Super cool. Like that lot of like RV tools and things that you may need there. So if you are ever in Quartzsite and you need something for your RV or a tool, I would definitely head over there. I'm not sure if they have the vendor fair all the time. I think they do. But it's great. So that was fun to kind of walk around and check all that stuff out. And yeah, so I might even head back over there. There were a few things that I want to pick up for my van, a few tools just to keep in the van. Not that I'm know how to use them. No, I do a little bit. But that's kind of my plan today. So I'm going to take y'all with me and we're going to go see what the women's RTR in Quartzsite is all about. All right. Good morning, my friends. We are off to go to the women's RTR this morning with the lovely ladies that I met here. So excited. Go check that out. And but first on the agenda is I need to find these are the like real things about van life, right? I need to find a place to dump my cassette toilet. But I want to be responsible and dump it, like find a outhouse or something like that. I don't want to travel too much with it because I don't like traveling on bumpy roads with it, if you get what I'm saying. But that's first on the agenda, and then my trash. I want to find a place. Somebody told me McDonald's out here in Quartzsite has open trash cans, which they should, because we spent the afternoon yesterday cleaning up a giant mess that somebody left at a campsite. So if trash cans are more available, I think people might be more apt to use them, but that was just pure neglect. So anyways, we're gonna go. I'm gonna bring my big girl camera, my GoPro, and we're gonna go see what this women RTR is about. So far, these ladies that I've met are just so full of love and so lovely, from all over the United States. Like, it's just such an a beautiful thing that what happened yesterday and how I found this campsite. So anyways, cheers you guys. I will see you at that WRTR.
And so she's not a lot of a guard dog. She has only 2 or 3 teeth, so and she hardly ever barks. She's so calm. She's the best little traveler. And so I don't have a dog for protection. So what I do carry, though, I do have a stun gun. Now, when I moved to Gainesville, Florida, there's University of Florida there, and at the time I moved there, there was someone attacking young women in Gainesville. And I was not that young, but I was
transfer station is probably the next closest, and they have different hours that we don't use on it.
Actually, I believe the next closest would be the actual dump itself, which is further north on 95, so the same direction as the transfer station on the right. And I believe they're open. Yes, don't trust me because I haven't been there. I think they're open 7 days a week. And I am there.
Yay, $3.99.
There we go. Alright, my friends, we are going to find out a little bit about this town of Quartzsite here. It's pretty windy today, so I was blown out of the WRTR. I'll probably go back later when the wind dies down, but I thought I'd take this opportunity to go find out what Quartzsite is all about. The town of Quartzsite can trace its roots all the way back to 1856. Charles Tyson, an early pioneer, established a stage station and dug several wells to accommodate the many teamsters hauling freight between Prescott and Ehrenberg. This town very quickly became a popular stopping place because of its water resources. This is now the home of the Tyson Wells Museum. Hi Jolly, a Syrian camel driver who was part of one of the American Southwest's most interesting experiments. The U.S. Army hired Hi Jolly to lead their Camel Corps, a bold try to use camels as pack animals in the dry Southwest. The Quartzsite Historical Society opened Tyson's Well Museum in February 1980 after extensive restoration work. The originally structurally sound walls were retained and others were rebuilt. A shell of stabilized adobe brick was built around the original walls to protect them. Historical artifacts were gathered from interested citizens as well as photographers and old mining equipment. When the building was finished, these articles were placed inside as well as outside the building.
This is so cool.
Good night, everyone. All right. Good morning. Day 2 in Quartzsite. It's cold this morning. A little colder than it was yesterday for sure. Yeah, so I'm up a little earlier today, so it's still dark. I'm gonna wait for that beautiful sunrise. It's kind of one of my favorite things in the desert. I did make some coffee, and I'm not sure what the agenda is today. I'm quite sure if I'm gonna go home today or tomorrow morning. My guess is probably tomorrow morning. It'll be easier to drive, get up early and be ready to go. But I am enjoying these ladies here at the camp. It's probably my favorite part. Last night we had a campfire because the wind died down. It was great. We sang. A beautiful lady brought a guitar that she made, and she was singing kind of folk country songs, which was great. She did sing some Johnny Cash for me, so I appreciated that. But we were all kind of singing along, and the campfire was full. I want to say there was at least 40 to 45, maybe 40 women around the campfire from all walks of life, all ages. They all have amazing stories, and it is inspiring to see that women are knowing that they are capable. These women are traveling alone all over the United States in their RVs and rigs, and it just impresses the heck out of me. They're fixing things that break. They're navigating directions. And some of them are up in their years, and they're just not letting that stop them. And it's just inspiring to me. There is something special about this group and these women, and I feel very fortunate to be stumble upon them. It's early. A lady came up to me last night. She said, this ring fell on the floor. And she goes, I heard you last night, I think it was you, talking about a purple butterfly, so I want to give it to you. And she gave me this beautiful purple butterfly ring. I know that the reason I came out here to Quartzsite is to meet these ladies. And I love that. And I see you, Mom. And if my mom was here today, she would love these ladies as well. So yeah, life is amazing. And I never thought I'd be here in Quartzsite, but I never thought I'd be here in Quartzsite saying what a wonderful time I'm having, so. Back at the campsite. It is howling out there. The wind is really bad today, and I just looked on my weather app, and it's going to be windy all through the night. So now I'm just sitting here thinking, should I start to head back home? Maybe stop at a campsite on the way home out of the wind? Should I just wait out the wind? I don't think the ladies are going to be out socializing because the wind is so bad. It's rocking my van. So I don't know. I'm giving myself like 20 minutes to figure out what it is I'm going to do. If I stay here, literally I'll just be locked up in my van, which is semi-fine. Like, I'll make the best of it. I will, have a dance party because I love to do that, or read some books or whatever. But I haven't quite decided yet. So I really do love these ladies, and I wanted to do, Janet was going to do a van tour with my van. But again, it's so stinking windy out. I'm not sure if that's even possible right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna give myself about 20 or 30 minutes, decide what I'm gonna do, and then just kind of go from there. If I do decide to stay, then this girl's getting back in her comfy clothes, and we're gonna have a pajama party today. All right, so I've made the executive decision to head out. I'm a little sad because I didn't get to say goodbye to all the ladies, but it's just howling out here, and I don't think it's going to let up anytime soon. So goodbye, butterfly ladies. I'm really sad, and I feel like part of me wants to stay, but I just don't want to be cooped up in my van, and I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's time for me to head towards
towards home.
And so that didn't happen. I actually went back into town. I bumped into a group of off-road motorcyclists who quickly invited me in to have a beer with them. I had a chance to listen to stories about their ride and their love for riding. So I decided not to leave Quartzsite. I went back to my campsite and just reflected over what a great afternoon I had, meeting up with some locals, some fellow riders, and was just feeling like, okay, I'm gonna stay another day or two and see what Quartzsite has to offer. I feel like this trip offered different things every day, so I was just at this point going with the flow. So the next day I woke up to an absolutely beautiful morning. No wind. Yay! I could have a fire, enjoy my coffee, and I was actually getting ready to head back into town because I had heard there's some abandoned mines out in the desert that I kind of wanted to check out and maybe just some more local attractions. So I got myself ready and was ready for another day of adventure. In January 1862, Captain Pauline Weaver, led by the indigenous people, stumbled upon gold in the region. This discovery catalyzed a massive gold rush, attracting hundreds from California and Arizona. Quartzsite soon flourished as a mining camp and a vital supply point for the surrounding mines, peaking with a population of around 1,500 souls. However, as the surface gold waned and new discoveries were made elsewhere, the bustling town slowly faded into history. Good morning from good old Quartzsite. No wind this morning. Enjoying a campfire, my coffee, and the sunrise. So pretty. Not sure what I'm going to do today. I feel like every day has been a little bit of, plan A, plan B, all the things. But, I'm having a good time and the weather's nice and life is good. So, all right, you guys. Again, good morning from Quartzsite. I'm definitely staying a lot longer than I thought I was going to. This trip, it's going to be interesting to put a video together because I do feel like it was just a lot of unexpected, quirky things that happened on this trip. All good though, right? So today I'm off to go see the Camel parade. Duh, because you can't leave Quartzsite without seeing the Camel parade. So I'm going to go do that. And today's going to be like a networking day. I have these stickers, which I will show you. That I had made with my channel name and things like that. So I'm going to kind of network a little bit, talk to some more YouTubers. Yeah, stay another night in Quartzsite. Who would have thought? Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying my time here. And it just goes to show you that you can have preconceived ideas about things and be completely wrong. And I think that was part of why I wanted to come out here. Is I just felt like there was something for me and absolutely been enjoying it. I've been enjoying camping with the ladies, meeting some of the locals, and just seeing, it's obviously a nomadic hub where people come in the wintertime. So there's just a lot of interesting people to meet, and I'm just having a great time. So I am off to the Camel parade, and I will film that. And first, though, we're going to go see Orville. So Orville is the gentleman at the Tumbleweed Campground that I choose to go to every morning to dump and drop off my trash. But he is just such a nice character that I feel like I'm going to try to see if I can interview him or at least get some photos. Again, just another, part of this trip for me. So that's what I'm off to do today. First though, coffee, and I think I need some breakfast. We're gonna start the morning off right. So all right, I will touch base with you at the Camel parade. Bye. Okay, so I could not find where the Camel parade started. I looked up a couple of pieces of information. I went to those places and did not find where the parade started. So luckily the day before, I had actually seen the camels where they were staging, so I got a chance to take a few photos. So back I went to the RTR. So now it was open to both men and women, and they had a few more vendors and a few more things to see. This was Bob Wells' ambulance build out. He did donate it to raise money for the Home on Wheels Alliance. I did get a chance to meet him and talk to him for a little bit. He was super nice and he just has some great resources. So go ahead and check out his YouTube channel, Cheap RV Living. So in true fashion of this trip, I decided the next morning to wake up and drive to Blyth and camp for my last night of the trip by the Colorado River. I am actually here at the Colorado River, I believe in the town of Blyth, and I left Quartzsite this morning because it was going to be super windy this afternoon, and I don't know, I was just feeling like maybe my trip there was winding down. So what's kind of funny is I've driven by Quartzsite many times going to Lake Havasu or Colorado or Phoenix, and never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I would be stopping at Quartzsite for a trip. You just look off the freeway and I'm like, oh gosh, it's hot here. I don't know why people are here. I didn't understand Quartzsite. When I got there, I was really open-minded. I decided like this trip was going to like enlighten me a little bit. Like, how do other people live, and why do people come to Quartzsite, and why do people travel in their van? Like, I wanted to know like a little more about why this lifestyle is gaining so much speed and so popular, and like what different stories bring people to this place. So I feel like I did that for sure. Like I got a lot of information from a lot of different people. So, you know, my overall perception of Quartzsite is it's definitely quirky. It's a quirky town with quirky people. And with that said, there's a certain charm there for sure. The surrounding mountains, once you get outside of the town, you know, it's beautiful during this time of year. I mean, where are you going to go? There's people that came from all over the United States, from Maine, Maryland, the East Coast, Midwest, and, you know, there's snowing and ice and stuff going on there. So this kind of weather here, you know, is pleasing to say the least. So I get it. There was the RTR and the WRTR, which I felt like I learned a little bit about that culture and that group, you know, full-time travelers, a lot of full-time travelers, a lot of people traveling for different reasons, all the way from, you know, a must, affordability-wise, to alternative lifestyle and everything in between. But what I did notice is that no matter why you were there or why you are choosing to travel, it almost didn't matter. It was a very equalizing platform. It was great to kind of like be in a place where it wasn't like status quo. It was just like everybody was meeting for the same reason, which I loved. And it was a great equalizer. You got to meet all kinds of interesting people. I just felt like they were kind-hearted, and had a very sweet like spirit. And what was so interesting is how I accidentally found them. I don't know, because it was not like, I don't know, I had to turn all down the right roads to get there. So I do believe that I was led there. And also too, the butterfly symbol is something that me and my mom, who has since passed on, share. And when they told me they were the butterfly tribe, I just felt like a connection there. So it was beautiful. I was able to camp there with those ladies. I felt safe. But the common denominator was that we all love to travel. And I feel like that is such a unity, especially with women. We just had like this sisterhood, right? Immediately, like we all got each other's back. And I feel like that maybe that was the takeaway that I had with the butterfly tribe, is those ladies look out for each other. So I have a lot of takeaways with this trip. I got a chance to spend some time in town. I went to the museum. I learned all about the history of Quartzsite, which again is super quirky. Got a little local tour. So all in all, amazing trip, but I feel like it was just centering for me, and it was also enlightening. And I think that's what I love about traveling in my van for me, is it takes me to places that maybe I wouldn't normally stop at or go to, and therefore it gives me life experiences that I wouldn't have had or experienced elsewhere. So it's such an enriching opportunity, and I'm so grateful for my van and for the opportunity to do this. And I met a lot of YouTubers too, and talked a lot about growing the channel and things like that. And I really feel led to be specific with my direction. And I think my direction is going to be inspiration. I want to inspire. But now that I'm winding down and heading back home, ooh, I hope my camera doesn't blow over. I am here at the Colorado River. And I'm going to catch my camera if it falls. But I am here at the Colorado River. I'm spending one night here, and then tomorrow I will head on home. So thank you so much for following. I'm going to do my darndest to get this video together in some kind of cohesive story, because it's going to be a lot going on. Make it happen for yourself. It's worth it, 100%.
And no one's there, and you wonder who even cares. Oh, come back to your breath, don't drift away from me. I will come Your best kept secrets underground.